Hallo und willkommen zu Lonestar. Wir spielen die Excavation of Hob's Barrow. Ja, wir haben eine ganz schlechte Nacht hinter uns. Und, ja, der andere ist gar nicht aufgetaucht, wegen dem wir hier sind.
A fine white glove,
Wir haben noch
gent
einen
style. I
Handschuh.
found it in the alleyway behind the plough and furrow.
Müssen wir mal schauen, ob der da ist. Oder ob unser Wirt was
Good morning,
weiß.
Miss Bateman.
Good day, Stanley.
Did you sleep well, Miss Bateman?
Ja, ging schon. Tell the truth, I should tell him about the cat. Die Tür war ja zu, der hält mich ja für verrückt.
Yes, thank you, Stanley.
Splendid. I'm happy to report the rain of yesterday has lifted. It's a clear morning outside. Crisp. I prepared a room for your assistant. What time will he be arriving?
His train will get in around midday. Kenneth will also be bringing my excavation equipment.
Oh, aye. What does that entail?
Picks, shovels, buckets, lighting and such. He usually packs it in a large crate. Come to think of it, I'll need somewhere to store it.
You're welcome to use the alley behind the inn for any such bulky items.
Uh-huh. Is it safe to do such a thing? My equipment is valuable. That sounds capital, thank you. I don't see what the alternative is.
Is it safe to do such a thing?
I can assure you the local folk are not thieves, Miss Bateman.
That's not what I...
Now, say nothing more of it.
Thank you, Stanley.
I'll let you get on with your day.
I'll be back with my assistant when he arrives.
Miss Bateman,
Yes?
I've something I wish to get off my chest, as it were.
Okay, spit it out.
I've been tossing and turning all night, Miss Bateman. I feel rotten, I really do.
What on earth are you talking about?
As you know, I like to run an honest establishment. And well, I have not been honest with you, lass. I do know of Hob's Barrow.
You do?
I do. Many here do. There are stories tied to that place, you know. If I've learned anything in this life, it's that some stones are best left unturned. Old Leonard Shoulder is someone to be wary of too. I can't tell you what to do, lass, but you'd best avoid him.
Why lie to me about Hob's Barrow?
I know, lass, I know. I feel dreadful.
But why? What are these stories you speak of?
I really can't tell you more. If you insist on visiting that place, you'll have to seek out Mr. Shoulder. He brought you here. He should be the one to tell you.
I must say, Mr. Kemp, this is all quite puzzling. I've never let local superstitions stop me in the past. I pride myself on being a woman of logic and reason. I've no time to waste on such matters.
As I say, seek out Mr. Shoulder. He can tell you more.
Ja, der Mr. Shoulder, der ist aber nicht aufgetaucht. Der sollte ja eigentlich gestern Abend schon da sein. War er aber nicht. Sehr unzuverlässig, das gefällt mir nicht.
Why must I be wary of Mr. Shoulder?
The man has a certain reputation.
For what?
You've seen it already. Were he here to meet you last night?
No.
Precisely. A man not to be trusted.
Unzuverlässig und man kann sich nicht ihm nicht vertrauen. Eieiei.
Where is Hob's Barrow?
I don't know. I say that on my mother's grave, Miss Bateman.
I now find that hard to believe.
The moors are vast, lass. I'd tend not to go wandering out there. A grown man could lose himself and not be seen again.
Where does Mr. Shoulder live?
I can't say for sure. As I think I told you last night, he's a quiet man and keeps to himself. He only comes in here to collect his post. Leads me to believe he lives a fair distance away. Certainly not in the village itself.
Es ist ja sehr seltsam, dass da
Might
keiner
someone
weiß, wo er
around Bewlay
wohnt.
be able to help me find him?
You could ask around. As I say, lass, Bewlay folk mean well. Don't forget that.
I shall return later.
Good day to you, lass. Oh, if you see Herbert around here, be sure not to feed him.
Herbert?
A local stray cat. He comes in now and then searching for scraps. I'm sick of cleaning his vomit off the floor.
Quite. I'll be sure not to feed him.
Thank you.
Sonst wird da Gremlins draus, wenn man den nach 12 Uhr füttert.
It seems I may be fighting a battle against some sort of local superstition. Is there a single barrow in England that doesn't have some ghastly tale attached to it? Hogwash. All of it.
Hogwarts, nicht
I have a
Hogwash.
few hours until Kenneth arrives. I should use this time to find Mr. Shoulder.
Map unlocked. Was ist die Karte?
He looks like a rather shady character. Hello? My name is Thomasina, and you are...
Now then, that's none of your concern, love.
What do you do around here?
Hey up, you're not scared of sticking your neb in. I look after the churchyard. Dig the graves.
What can you tell me about the church?
Aye, it's a church.
Quite.
Wow. Der redet aber auch recht viel am Tag, hm?
Do you know a man named Leonard Shoulder?
I don't know out about no Leonard Shoulder.
Das war doch doppelt verneint, oder?
What can you tell me about Hobbs Barrow?
Not to be found digging around in those things.
You know of local barrows, then?
Don't concern yourself.
What can you tell me about Bewlay?
Not much around here, love. Not worth mentioning to you, like.
I see. Goodbye.
Ta-ra.
Ja, vielen Dank für dieses tolle Gespräch. Also, der hat sich ja echt richtig bemüht.
A humble local dwelling.
Na, wir können aber nicht in jedes Haus einfach reingehen. Ich glaube, wir gehen noch mal ins Dorf rein. Ob wir die Blumen brauchen? Ja. Wer ist das? Child?
The little whelp looks determined to slaughter the very air itself. The young woman looks extremely bored by it all. Good day.
Hello, miss.
My name is Thomasina. What's yours?
Betty.
Nice to meet you, Betty. What are you up to?
My brother is practicing his sword fighting technique. I'm to watch him until he tires himself out.
I'm tireless!
This time last month it were all about his teaspoon collection. This month it's swords.
Do you know a man named Leonard Shoulder?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
What do you know of Hobbs Barrow?
Our parents don't like us talking to strangers, miss.
So you know of it?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Goodbye.
Bye, miss.
Eieieiei. Was für ein gesprächiges Volk das hier ist. Und so nett alle.
Hello.
Yes?
My name is Thomasina. What's yours?
Douglas?
It's a pleasure to meet you, Douglas. That's a great sword technique you have.
Thanks, miss. Mr. Crozier's gonna make me a real one when I turn 12. I'm preparing myself to fight the lantern worm.
What is the lantern worm?
It's gonna come back and get us all. John Lantern thought he killed it at the River Ware, but my father told me it still lives. We must all be prepared.
The lantern worm isn't real, Douglas. Father just told you that to get you out of his hair.
Not true. I saw it slithering out by the beck. Like a giant eel it were. I ran home so fast I thought I would fly.
Sorry, miss. My brother has a vivid imagination.
Children often do at his age.
I'll keep training. You will all thank me when I thrust my sword deep into its fat belly.
Douglas, this lady doesn't want to hear your nonsense.
Ja, dann fragen wir doch nach den anderen Sachen auch noch, oder?
Do you like living in Bewlay?
Yeah, I do. Are you from the city?
I'm from a long way away.
You must have come on the train. I love watching all the steam puff up into the sky.
Have you been on the train yourself?
No, miss. Our parents don't have the money for train tickets. Father says we have all we need here in Bewlay.
Perhaps this nice lady would like to take you away with her on the train.
No, I need to stay and protect Bewlay from the lantern worm.
Do you know a man called Leonard Shoulder?
That's a funny name.
Have you heard of Hob's Barrow?
What's that?
A local burial mound.
Our parents don't let us wander far from the village.
What's a burial mound?
Don't you mind about that, Douglas.
Who's Mr. Crozier?
He's a blacksmith. His forge is just over there on the other side of the square.
Don't you think 12 years of age is a little young for a real sword?
I'll be a master swordsman by then.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, miss.
Ah, Vögelchen. Naja. Viel Neues erfahren haben wir nicht, aber... Fragen wir mal hier.
I don't think anyone is home.
Schauen wir in den Laden.
No one here.
Und wo ist der Blacksmith? Ah, hier.
The blacksmith is toiling away. I have one just like this. A fantastic specimen. A simple broom.
Ich schätze mal, wir können nicht einfach das Zeug klauen.
Good day.
Yes?
Mr. Crozier, I presume.
Aye, George Crozier, at your service.
Crozier? Dann sagen wir auch mal Hallo.
My name is Thomasina.
Aye, can I help you?
Are you a Bewlay native, Mr. Crozier?
Aye, born and bred. That's where my father's forge before mine.
How is business faring?
I do an honest trade. There'll always be horses needing shoes and farmers needing tools. You let me know if you need out made or mended. I'll do you a fair price.
Thank you, Mr. Crozier.
Leider sind wir gerade pleite, deswegen...
Do you know a man by the name of Leonard Shoulder?
Oh, aye. Old Leonard.
Have you seen him recently?
No, not recently.
Do you know where he lives?
Why all these questions, lass?
I need to speak with him. He invited me to Bewlay.
Oh, he'll turn up. I've seen him in the plough and furrow from time to time.
But do you know where he lives? I need to find him.
I believe he lives somewhere out on the moors. Can't tell you out more than that.
Thank you, Mr. Crozier. Do you know of a local landmark named Hob's Barrow?
There's a fair many barrows found out on the moors, lass. Too many to put a name to. Not a soul in Bewlay pays them any mind.
What can you tell me about Bewlay?
We don't get many visitors here, outside of market days. But there's plenty of work for the village blacksmith. Where are you from, then?
I arrived yesterday on the train from London, by way of Derby.
Oh, aye. I've heard about London.
What have you heard?
Plenty of factories there.
Yes, indeed. The city is always changing and moving forward.
Too busy for me, though, lass. I prefer a quieter pace. Aye.
Wir können ihn mal auf das Fossil ansprechen, das da an der Tür hängt.
I noticed your spectacular fossil specimen.
Oh, aye. I collect them. This one is called an...
Ammonite.
I'm impressed, lass.
From the Jurassic period, I'd venture.
Do you collect them too, then?
My true interests lie in comparatively modern history.
Oh, aye. Well, I do love a fossil. It's important to remember that we all end up in the soil eventually.
Quite. When do market days run in Bewlay?
Once or twice a month. The next one is tomorrow.
How delightful.
Unless your vice is cabbages, there'll be nought to interest a young lady.
I don't mind a cabbage.
Then you're in luck.
Thanks for your time.
Aye. Speak to you later.
Na, der war doch wenigstens mal ganz nett.
Alas, it is not mine to take. The blacksmith is right here. I've no need to go inside.
Echt? Hätte mich mal interessiert. Die Lampe klauen dürfen wir dann sicher auch nicht. Memorial Plaques, und zwar Zehntausende.
The trusty trowel, the barrow digger's best friend. In memory of Henry Crozier.
Okay, das ist wohl dann der Vater von dem Blacksmith.
In memory of Millicent Smith. In memory of Benjamin Garkham. In memory of Romeo Hegg, dearly missed by his beloved Juliet.
Romeo und Julia.
In memory of Mabel Hurst. In memory of Percival Roach. In memory of Barnaby Tillett.
Tillett hat der andere doch
In
geheißen.
memory of William Ager. In memory of Peter Black. In memory of George Paxton. A fine assortment of baked goods. A lovely treat for those who enjoy such things. The woman has a kind face.
So, hat sie das.
The doors look weathered, but have stood the test of time. This leads to the church tower, I presume.
Ah, komm, dann reden wir doch mal mit ihr.
Hello. Good day. Would you like to buy one of these cakes, pet?
Ah, wir sind pleite, sorry.
What kind of cakes do you have?
I have some lovely Bakewell puddings, the sweetest marriage of almond and jam. I can tell you're not from around here, because if you were, you would know about my Bakewell puddings. They are quite famous.
Alas, I'm not carrying any money with me.
That's unfortunate, pet. I'm sorry, I can't give them away for free. The money goes to the church, you see, and one cannot shirk one's duty to the church.
I understand.
Naja, okay, dann sagen wir doch mal Hallo.
My name is Thomasina. What's yours?
Mrs. de Plancy.
A pleasure to meet you, Mrs. de Plancy.
Likewise, pet.
Die alle verwenden in dem Dorf immer so Kosename immer hier. Sehr seltsam.
Tell me about yourself, Mrs. de Plancy.
About me? What would you possibly want to know about me? I've been attending St. Edmund's Church my whole life. I always want to help where I can, so I sell my baked goods, and all the proceeds go to its upkeep. This place means so much to me.
Your cakes look delicious.
I can assure you they are. You'll not find better in the entire county.
Was weiß sie über die Kirche?
What can you tell me about St. Edmund's Church?
Isn't it the finest building?
Ja, nicht schlecht für
It's
das
been
Dorf.
standing here since the 12th
Oh, das ist eine Stadt?
century. The box pews in the nave are very fine and date back to the 17th century. The door is open if you'd like to worship.
Thank you, Mrs. de Plancy. Do you know a local man called Leonard Shoulder?
Yes, I know Leonard. What business do you have with him?
It's a long story, but I'm trying to find where he lives.
I'm afraid I don't know, dear. Father Roach has access to the parish register. He might be able to help you.
What can you tell me about Father Roach?
What can you tell me about Father Roach?
He is a lovely man and an exemplary servant of the Lord. He's been the vicar of St. Edmund's for many years.
Does the vicar like liquor? So, und wo ist er denn?
Where can I find Father Roach?
At this time of day, he'll be taking his exercise in Herne Wood, to the west of the village.
Thank you. I'll go find him.
Be sure to listen out for his merry whistling. Such a jolly man.
What do you know of Hobb's Barrow?
Hobbs what?
Hobb's Barrow, a local burial mound.
The only place of burial I know about and care for is in this very churchyard.
Thank you for your time.
Lord be with you.
Ah, mit dem Kuchen wird das erstmal nix. Wir haben ja kein Geld.
The doors look weathered, but have stood the test of time. Goodness me, look at these box pews. I've never seen any as tall as that before. Most unusual architecture, even for the Normans. The pews are contained within compartments that can be locked. I've seen a similar design in other Norman churches around England, but this is a particularly impressive example. Is that a necklace? Someone has left a necklace hanging here. A silver cross. Sterling by the look of it. Maybe I can reunite it with its owner.
Ja, so kann man das sagen. Hm?
Those have seen better days. A memorial list of former vicars. They stretch back several hundred years. This must be where the local vicar sacrifices the newborns. I can admire the craftsmanship from afar. Stained glass depictions of various biblical scenes. It's not my specialist area.
Oh, ich glaube, sonst haben wir alles.
Locked. Locked as well. I think they all might be. The flowers have long since dried out. I don't want them.
Schauen wir die Kette mal an.
I think this might be genuine sterling silver.
Ich schätze mal nicht, dass der Turm offen ist, aber wir können mal gucken.
It's locked.
Das habe ich mir gedacht. So, in welche Richtung ist jetzt Westen? Ich schätze mal... Alter, höre ich ihn. Links oder unten? Da ist er. Okay, was ist mit dem los? Ist ihm schlecht?
I'm very sorry. Oh, the shame. This malaise will not pass. Oh, the nausea. I need your help, young lady.
Tell me what you need.
Let the blood from my arm.
Excuse me?
Cut me. I beg you.
Ich habe aber kein Messer.
Are you sure this is the only way, Father?
I beg you. It's the only cure for this torturous malady.
The vicar looks dreadfully ill.
Ja, ich habe aber kein Messer.
I don't wish to look too closely. The vicar's spectacles lie broken on the forest floor. Ouch! The broken lens is extremely sharp.
Aha.
Perhaps I shouldn't risk soiling this glove until I find its owner.
Also mit dem Handschuh geht's nicht. Vielleicht mit dem Handkerchief?
This handkerchief was a gift from my mother. I hope she will understand. This should work. Are you sure this is the only way, Father?
I beg you. It's the only cure for this torturous malady.
Sehr seltsam. Ich wollte mir das Viech da oben anschauen, aber dann geht da mal das Menü an. Das sieht so aus, als wäre da ein Oktopus drin. Okay, es hilft nichts.
A sharp shard of glass from a pair of broken spectacles.
Bin mir nicht sicher, ob das eine gute Methode ist, jetzt hier Blut abzulassen. Hat er zu hohen Blutdruck oder sowas?
Are you sure you want me to do this?
Yes, it will cure me of my ills.
I shall do as you ask, Father.
So, erste Hilfe. Hm?
Thank the Lord for my spare pair. God bless you. I already feel quite better.
Okay.
I'm glad, Father.
Das ist aber sehr
The rapid
seltsam.
healing properties of bloodletting cannot be overstated. I'm Frederick Roach, vicar of St. Edmund's Church.
My name is Thomasina Bateman. It's a pleasure to meet you. Are you feeling better?
Yes, thank you.
What ails you, Father Roach?
I just ate a rotten berry. That's all.
Ja, das glauben
I
wir ihm
like
jetzt
to pick
nicht.
blackberries for my supper, you see. They are quite delicious, as long as you mind the bramble. My apologies again. I wish we had met in different circumstances.
Ich hoffe, er hat nicht wegen uns gekotzt, weil sie sieht doch eigentlich ganz nett aus.
Are you from Bewlay originally?
I was born in our very own St. Edmund's. It's quite the story.
Do tell.
My mother was sheltering there as a frightful tempest raged. And lo, did her waters break right there and then in that pew.
One could say that you were born into your role, Father.
Indeed. When my mother told me the story as a young boy, I knew that this was my calling.
Aha, sehr seltsame Geschichte. Was weiß er denn über die Kirche? Ja, sagen wir doch mal, dass es eigentlich eine ziemlich coole Kirche ist.
St. Edmund's is a fine building.
Thank you for saying so. It's hard work keeping her in good shape, but our congregation is always willing to lend a hand in the Lord's name.
What is it like being the vicar here?
Every day is a blessing, my child. I have a great love for our parish, and the Lord looks after us.
Was mit seinen Schäfchen?
What about your congregation?
Numbers have fallen over the years, I must say. But those that remain are faithful and full of his spirit.
Dann sprechen wir ihn doch mal auf den Shoulder an. Schließlich suchen wir den.
I'm looking for Mr. Leonard Shoulder.
Oh, yes? Are you a relative?
No, it's a long story, but he invited me to Bewlay.
And he didn't tell you his address?
He was to meet me last night at the Plough and Furrow, but he never came.
I see. Well, let me welcome you to Bewlay on his behalf.
Thank you, Father.
Aber als Pfarrer muss er doch wissen, wo der wohnt, oder?
Do you know where Mr. Shoulder lives?
Let me think. It's been many moons since I've paid him a visit.
Perhaps you could allow me to take a look at the parish register.
No need. I remember it now. A fair hike across the moors.
Could you please give me directions?
I'll take you there myself. It's the least I can do after you aided me so.
Capital. Thank you.
Just let me know when you're ready to pay him a visit. I'll be resting here for the time being.
Aha, ist aber sehr seltsam.
What do you know of Hobb's Barrow?
I can't say I've heard of it.
It's supposedly a famous local landmark.
I'm afraid I know nothing about it.
Das glaube ich ihm jetzt nicht.
What can you tell me about Bewlay?
It's a quiet town. The railway line, which I presume you arrived by, is the only news of note we've had here for years.
I've heard the new station has received a mixed reaction.
I've heard many a debate, it's true. But my role is not to adjudicate on that matter. I'm very busy in my own work, you see.
Thank you for your time.
Lord be with you.
Ja, ich glaube, wir gehen noch nicht. Gibt's hier sonst noch irgendwas Interessantes? Na, wir können nicht einfach in irgendwelche Häuser reingehen. Gehen wir noch mal zum Zug. Ja. Arthur Tillet. Tillet, altes Haus.
Well, that's one mystery solved. It's Arthur Tillet. What's he doing in there? Mr. Tillet, where did you go last night?
Have we met?
Last night at the Plough and Furrow.
Oh, Miss Bateman. I were blind drunk last night and woke up with a stinking headache.
You still smell like a brewery.
Sorry.
You went to use the lavatory and never came back, Mr. Tillett. I searched everywhere for you.
I think I remember you bought me a drink. Then it's all a blur. I woke up on my bed this morning with my wife sour at me for waking her at some ungodly hour.
About last night.
Also, genau, er wollte uns doch irgendwas über den Leonard Shoulder erzählen, hat aber dann aufgehört zu erzählen.
What were you going to tell me about Leonard Shoulder?
Who?
Ach,
Leonard
komm.
Shoulder. You told me you knew him. And promised to tell me more if I bought you a drink. Which I did. So what were you going to tell me?
Das hat sie schön gesagt.
I don't really know the old bugger.
Genau, aber
But
dass
you
er
said you
old
did.
ist, weiß er.
Oh, aye. No, I know naught about him. No, naught about Leonard Shoulder.
Lügebeutel. If you say so, he's hiding something.
You're hiding something, Mr. Tillett. I don't believe you.
I say a lot of things when I've got the drink in me. I probably just wanted you to buy me an ale.
A likely story.
Look, what would I gain from lying to you? I just wanted another drink.
Even if that's the case, it doesn't explain your disappearance.
Aye, I don't remember out.
Tja. Immer diese Ausrede. Ja, ich kann mich gar nicht dran erinnern, was gestern gewesen ist.
How's your headache faring?
It feels like a steam engine is driving full pelt in a circle around me skull.
Be sure to drink plenty of water, Mr. Tillett.
Aye, I'll survive.
So, you work here?
Aye, Bewlay station master at your service. Would you like to buy a ticket?
Not just yet, thank you. I understand that some of the locals are not too happy about this new station.
Aye, I'd go as far as saying the whole village.
How long has the station been open for?
About 3 months. We're on the Midland Railway line. This employment's been a saviour for me. If I weren't stood here, I'd be drinking my life away at the pub right now. It's worth the occasional withering look from Cyril and the rest of them.
What does a station master do?
A bit of this and a bit of that. I don't wish to bore you with such things.
As you wish.
My responsibilities here keep me on the straight and narrow, I'll tell you that much. A sense of duty can do wonders for a lost soul.
Indeed. This must be a rather lonesome post to occupy.
Trains pass through here more regularly than you might think, lass.
Vermutlich jedes Mal, wenn wir nicht hier sind, fährt dann hinten ein Zug durch.
Farewell for now.
Ta-ra!
Halt. Oh, die Katze wieder. Den Vogel geärgert.
Hello, Arthur.
Hello again, Miss Bateman.
Vielleicht hat er sich's jetzt anders überlegt.
About last night. You really don't remember where you went last night?
As I say, it's all a blur. I remember needing a piss.
Okay,
Then
too much details.
Nothing. Well, you must have missed me when I came out.
I did not. I even went to the gents' toilets to find you.
Oh, aye. A sight for sore eyes.
It was. I checked everywhere, and you were nowhere to be found. The back door leading to the alleyway was blocked from the outside.
Oh, aye.
Yes. You must have exited through that door, Mr. Tillett.
But you just said it were blocked.
There must be an explanation.
Er könnte auch durchgegangen sein und dann wurde es blockiert.
My mind has drawn a blank.
Und das Fenster war ja
Why
offen.
was the door blocked? Did you block it?
I told you I don't remember. I've naught to say 'cause I remember naught.
Naut. Sehr
Farewell
schönes
for
Wort.
now.
Ta-ra.
Toodles. Tja. Wo ist denn die Kitty hin?
I have nothing else to ask for the time being.
Echt? Vielleicht sollten wir mit der anderen mal reden, dass ihrem Fahrer nicht gut geht.
Mrs. de Plancy is a kind, God-fearing woman. I have nothing else to ask for the time being.
To do. Explore Bewlay. Travel to Mr. Shoulder's residence. The first day.
Excuse me, do you think anyone would mind if I borrowed this trowel?
You help yourself, dear. Father Roach won't mind lending it. Just be sure to put it back when you're finished.
Of course, thank you.
Klar, das machen wir in Advent schon immer. Mitnehmen und zurückbringen.
The trusty trowel, the barrow digger's best friend. This one has seen better days.
Sollen wir dir mal die Kette zeigen?
Excuse me, I found this necklace inside the church. Is it yours?
No, pet. Perhaps someone left it behind yesterday. You keep hold of it for now. I'll ask around at the next service.
Are you sure?
I trust you.
Naja, vielleicht gibt's hier Vampire, dann können wir das noch brauchen. Headstone.
John Purchase, dearly beloved husband of Florence. Forever in light, Anne Kemp. Here lies Margaret Tillett, beloved mother, wife, and sister. Today she dances with angels. Joseph Davis. Joseph Davis. Samuel Bryden. Death is only a shadow across the path to heaven. Here lies Elizabeth Farnaby.
Oh, fresh grave. Ich hoffe, niemand, den wir kennen.
This appears to be a recently dug, unmarked grave.
Sollen wir mal buddeln?
I may be a barrow digger, but I am no grave robber.
Wir wollen doch nicht klauen, wir wollen nur gucken, wer drin liegt. Liegt, dass
William
der
Paxton,
Shoulder da drin ist.
modest and gentle of heart.
Moment, Paxton hat mir den nicht auf der anderen Seite schon.
Margaret's Lookout. I wonder who Margaret is, or was.
Tja, ich glaube, wir lassen ihr ein bisschen Zeit, einfach mal die Landschaft ein bisschen auf sich wirken zu lassen. Und da würde ich sagen, machen wir diese Stelle doch lieber erstmal ein kleines Päuschen. Und ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen und wir sehen uns das nächste Mal.